I remember at many points as a teenager and young adult, I was consumed with having a girlfriend. And I saw people around me in a relationship and I thought, man, I am missing out. And so whenever that became a possibility, man, I became preoccupied with that. What does she think of me? What do I have to do to win her over? How can I impress her? The ironic thing is, on the rare occasion where I actually did have a girlfriend, it didn't take long until I became consumed with, how can I get out of this? How can I go back to being single? The problem was I was looking for contentment in all the wrong places. And even when I got the things I was pursuing, they were still elusive. And that is a lot of the theme in 1 Corinthians 7. So I'm going to dive in. I'm going to read verse 17. And what we're going to see is that even though Paul is addressing a lot of things about relationships, the concepts are so much broader than just that. So here's how it reads, 1 Corinthians 7, verse 17. Nevertheless, each person should live as a believer in whatever situation the Lord has assigned to them, just as God has called them. This is the rule I lay down in all the churches. Now, we're often people who think the grass is greener on the other side. Now, the context of this chapter is Paul is dealing with relationship questions and how to think about them biblically. But what I love about Paul is his approach is far deeper and far broader than a mere surface level approach. So Paul is basically saying that whatever your status was when you were called to be a Christian, rather than being preoccupied with trying to change it, to be content. Now, we are often people who we think that, hey, if I can change this relationship status, if I can change something over here, if I can tweak this part of my life, we often kind of make those our pursuits. That's what's driving our lives in so many ways. And Paul goes on to say, he's not against people changing in here their relationship status if it's done in a biblical manner, but he is simply cautioning them, and he's cautioning us that in life, that our pursuits, they need to take a back seat to our calling and the way that we live out our faith. And so that's why we see this concept. It's so much broader than just a relationship status. Right? We are often people who perpetually lack contentment because I think we naively think at times that if this one circumstance changes, if something changes with this person, then somehow life's going to be much better. And I think what Paul is saying, and I think we see it all over the Bible, is that these pursuits are elusive if they are not subservient to our calling. And even when we get what we think we so desperately wanted, the chase starts all over because it couldn't do what we thought it could do. And so Paul is encouraging us to allow our desires and our earthly pursuits to take a back seat to our calling. And he's saying if a change of circumstances can help aid your calling, then great, go for it. So I want to leave you with these two questions. One, where have you lacked contentment lately? And then two, are you expecting something to fill a void in your life that it's simply not meant to fill?